have you seen how much that house around the corner just sold for? Real estate prices are so high. This has got to be a real estate bubble. Hey everybody, Doug Reynolds here, your Sacramento area realtor. Here we are in the summer of 2021. We are coming down. It's looking like we're getting through the end of the pandemic here. And if you've been paying attention, Sacramento real estate and real estate in general across the country has been crazy hot for the last 6 to 9 months. Prices going up, multiple offers, one house selling more than the next, selling more than the next. People are starting to kind of get a little anxious and antsy about this, I think. Obviously, the median price of where we were at in 2007, 2008, when the housing market kind of bubble crashed and collapsed, we are higher than that price point of where the kind of average home sold for in the country then. Median sales price then has increased higher now than where we were at then. So it's more of a natural reaction, I think, for most people to go, oh, well, it happened then and we're at the same price, we're higher than that now, it must be a bubble, the same thing's gonna happen, right? I think emotionally that kind of makes sense. You know, it's like, whoa, that house is selling for that much money, that's what it's going for, my house is worth, what, are you kidding me? It has to be a bubble. Or they paid that much, they're crazy, this is a bubble, it's gonna pop, right? Well, emotionally it makes sense. Statistically, my personal opinion, looking at statistics, listening to true professionals in the industry, I disagree with those that are saying anything about a bubble. Bubble to me means what we had in kind of 07, 08, where we have a plummet off of a cliff, pops, it crashes, nosedive, crash, dive. Don't think that's going to happen. That was kind of a once in 100-year correction that we had there, and we had a lot of stuff going on for those factors. We do not have those same factors going on right now. And don't just take it from me. I'm going to give you some stats and give you some data. This is from Mr. Brian Buffini. If you're interested in real estate in any way, you should be checking out what he puts out. The guy has been in real estate for 40, 50 years. Really intelligent guy. And he's not scared to go against the current of kind of what mainstream media is saying on stuff and things. So check out his podcast. He's got a website, Facebook Live stuff all the time, all right? So check out this. They just put out, and I agree with this as well, all right? This is not a bubble. So we've got different conditions right now than there was in 2007, 2008. In that time, there was low down payments, low to no down payments. Some people were, if you could fog a mirror, you could get a mortgage, okay? They were giving variable interest rates, so you could get in at 3%, and then after a year or two, it's gonna go up to 8 or 9%, and your payment readjusts, okay? Adjustable interest rates, ARMs. And there was an oversupply. At that time in July 2007, you can see there in the bottom left-hand corner, there was 4 million houses for sale at July 2007. So they were given horrible mortgages out that for people that were not putting any money down. They were adjustable rate mortgages, and there was 4 million houses available for sale at that time. Okay, well right now, there's a little over a million, 1.16 million homes for sale across the country right now. So basically have a quarter of the homes available that we did in 2007. That kind of was the start of the bubble popping and the crash of the housing market. Take a look at the down payment. Getting close to 16% is the average down payment in 2021. And definitely for me and my clients, we're seeing 20, 30, 40, 50% down payments compared to when we had the bubble going on. People were putting 0 to 4, 5, 7, 9% down. So we've got people putting more down payment. There's less homes available on the market. And we're doing fixed interest rates. These things are not adjusting. So we've got higher down payments. We've got 3% fixed rates, okay? And not only that, that the lending guidelines have tightened up as well. If you went and got a mortgage in 06, 07, like I said. I fogged that mirror. I'm alive. I have a heartbeat. Give me a mortgage. I'll just write down what my income is. I make, $400,000. You should give me $1 million mortgage, right? Don't bother the fact that, I work at the Burger Shack, or I'm a janitor, or whatever, those jobs are great and they're important and we need them, but they're not jobs that you have an income that you can sustain $1 million purchase of property or something like that. You have to be within a range. And so lending guidelines now are strict. They're not handing out mortgages to someone if you're only making $50,000 or $60,000. You're not getting pre-approved for an $800,000 house, okay? It's just not happening. So we've got way different conditions than we had then, okay? So yeah, maybe prices have gone up a bit. There might be some fluctuation, some correction or something. But when you're talking about a crash, you're talking about a bubble. When is the market going to crash? We just don't have conditions right now that, if you're really looking at the facts, would be stating that we would have that. Every market, if you go and research and you look up housing pricing over the last 100 years, you're gonna see goes up, levels off, goes up, goes down a little bit, goes up. For the most part, it's an increasing pattern, okay? But, there's corrections, there's dips. And then we had that in 08, okay? But historically, it's like this, right? So that's my answer. It's my personal opinion. Everyone's got their own opinions about it. Just thought I'd throw out some stats and some data that you maybe be able to factor into your thought process, not just go off emotions, not just go off of clickbait headlines and things like that. Granted, you're not even factoring in inflation when you're comparing what the price of a house was, average price of a house was in 08 at the crash, and what they are now. Factor in inflation, and it's nowhere even near that at that point right now as well too. So that's just one little factor. All right, hope this video was helpful. It was just to give out some information, some insightfulness, some thoughts, rather than just listening to the media just blabbing headlines and things like that. That's some actual data that's there and available for you to think about and for you to consider. And then granted, I think some people are trying to say, oh, well, when we come out of this, they're going to end the eviction moratorium and the forbearance and all that stuff. Well, foreclosures don't happen when you have equity in your home, okay? So even if we have the eviction moratorium end and there are landlords that are left with properties that they're behind on their mortgage, they're going to be able to put their house on the market and sell it. They've got equity in the property. They're not going to just walk away from it like people were in 08 and 09, 010, and 10, because they didn't have any equity in the house. They didn't put any money down. The people right now that have that properties, they've got equity. They can sell the property. Sure, we might have a little bit more inventory. We might have some more balance in the market at some point in time, but we're not going to see a wave of foreclosures because of the fact that people have been putting down payments. Prices have been increasing and going up. Therefore, there's equity in the homes that are out there. So yes, we have some stuff coming up that we've got to go through and deal with, but there's really not a statistical reason as to why that would be causing any type of large wave of foreclosures like we saw 10 years ago at that time. Trust me, I know about foreclosures. I was selling $60,000 REO fixers to investors for a number of years, so I know all about those. All right, enough's enough. Hope this video was helpful. You can connect with me at my website, realestatewithdoug.com. Look forward to talking to you soon, and clear skies.